Right here we have the organic traffic meter right here. Joey Bides, everybody's favorite politician. Right here, ready to roll, ready to rock. Is everybody excited about that? Joey Bides, you guys hyped? Is there a stream of the event? I know that they put up the event on their channel. Like they'll put up the panels after the fact. I don't know if there's a stream of it, like post the at the time. Like I don't think they do a live stream of the event. So that's that's just something you
There
have
is
to
a
deal with.
huge.
Oh my god! I realize that I'm getting. I just went to play and an ad started, so just give me a minute. Let me clear that so I have this set up. Yeah, so I don't think there's a live stream of the event, but I don't know. Like they might be doing some of it live just because they want to have more audience and all that. So you know, but I don't think there's like a live setup or anything for it. But yeah, a wild haunter appears. Yeah. All right. Look at that. I got a new follow. Thank you for the follow. You guys like my follow graphic? It's pretty nice. You're gonna crush it. I mean, I hope to have fun. Like I go to these events for entertainment value. Why is this so big? There we go. Let me reduce that so it's more reasonable. That way you guys can see all the good stuff. Yeah, so I have, by the way, multiple tabs to go over, so, okay, thank you for the follow. I have multiple tabs to go over. I changed the sound so I could actually hear what's happening, because I had it all the same sound before, so you'll notice that. But yeah, we'll do this, and then I have some of Kamala's speech that I want to go over. But yeah. Yeah, Kamala is a bad choice. I don't, like, she's basically uncharismatic, just like Hillary Clinton. I called her California Hillary Clinton, and somebody left me a comment saying, Hillary Clinton's not from California. You're wrong. You're an idiot. And that's exactly how they sounded when they typed it. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I called her California Hillary Clinton. Her. So, there's that. But, let's... right. I keep doing the Keemstar. I don't know why. Hold on, I gotta turn off autoplay, because autoplay is fucking cancer on YouTube right now. Alright, you guys ready? This is the announcement video. This is a totally authentic slice of life from the Joe Biden campaign. He just called her up. Ignore that piece of paper that's right around here. That has nothing to do with anything. That's totally not what he's reading off of, guys.
Jilly, can you hear?
Hi, Jim.
Hang on, I'm going to put you on speaker. Jilly, are you there?
Hi.
Can you hear?
Hi, oh God. We're such good friends, all of us. Remember when, Joe's his wife, right? Remember when you called my husband a segregationist? Do you remember that? I'm so happy to hear from you, Kamala. Oh, God. Let's all get this together so we could talk. Let's not do a three-way call, because this seems more authentic. Like, we went and we hired somebody to ask them what's more authentic to them, and this is what they came up with.
Jill, I'm thrilled, and thank you, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys every day. We're going to get this done.
Oh, we're gonna get this done. Oh, that's great. How about Doug? Is that her husband? Is Kamala married? Somebody, quick, one of you Google ninjas, tell me if that's Kamala's husband. Thank you for the subscription, by the way, Christopherzilla with Twitch Prime. By the way, you can subscribe with Twitch Prime. It doesn't cost you anything. Is Doug her husband? Is Kamala married to a man named Doug? This may be the most important story that nobody's talking about. Yes, okay, that is her husband. Alright, breaking news. Kamala Harris is married to a man named Doug. Also, she's the VP. That's the headline. Yes, this is. People are right. This is Elizabeth Warren drinking a beer with her husband. How's Doug, Kamala? We love you so much. Remember the whole segregationist thing? You want to back that shit up now?
How about Doug? Is Doug here? Yes, let me get him.
Oh, let
Hey,
me get
Doug.
my. Hey, Dougie. See, Kamala tested focus group tested that, and she discovered that calling your husband by something a little off of their name is kind of cute and endearing. But what a coincidence! Joey is calling Jilly. Jilly is also talking to Kamali, and Kamali's getting Dougie. Wow, wow, wow! Just wow, man! It's so authentic and amazing and totally not staged, rehearsed, and contrived at all. Like I'm motivated by this ticket. I gotta get out there and vote Biden in Kamala. But Badala. That's who we need. Badala.
The vice president and Jill's on the phone, and they.
Hi. Please, I was told to do this as best as I could, or Kamala's gonna throw the book at me. Not only metaphorically, because she's a prosecutor, but also literally. That's our relationship. Please save me, Joe Biden.
They've asked us to join.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna have fun.
Jill, we're ready to go to work.
Oh my goodness, and they're gonna have so much fun. I hate this, like, these end cards that block the video, especially when it's 50 seconds. Jesus.
Ready to put it all on the line for you.
We're gonna put it all on the line for you, Mr. Segregationist candidate. We got you.
Forward to it.
Look, guys. First of all, both of you. This is a team. This is a team effort. You know, this is team play, and I think we agree. It is really about restoring the soul of this country.
Joe Biden was stumbling even in that. Like, you couldn't get a better take in this, like, obviously rehearsed scenario. We're gonna do it, Joe. We're gonna go to Washington and we're gonna change things. Somebody said, did I watch a systemic? No, I didn't watch the Vosh Destiny Allsup other guy debate. I would react to something like that, but Vosh is banned on this website because he said some horrifically, like, anti-Semitic things and anti-Israeli things, like, basically wishing genocide on those people. So he's banned off of Twitch, so you can't show him on this. So, otherwise I might do some Vosh reactions. Now, the next one, I have Tucker here, if you guys want to look over this. But I also have Joey Bides calling up Kamala Harris at Alexis DuPont High School. What do you guys think? Well, maybe I should actually be available to ask you. Which one should we go over first? We're doing both. Are we going Tucker or this? Somebody's like, the prosecutor summed up this debate, like the YouTuber, the prosecutor, or... Yeah, I don't, like, people keep recommending him to me. I will eventually watch his videos, but I got shit to do. Can't cuck the tuck. Alright, so what do you guys want? You want this thing? Or do you want the Tucker Carlson thing? Nya or nya? Nya or nya? Nya or nya? Nya or nya? Let me know in the chat. Alright, so we'll do Tucker first, and then we'll go a little bit into the speech. I hope this is a good video. If you have a better version of the Tucker video, let me know. I'll pull it up.
Kamala Harris has plans for your guns, but more than that, she's willing to threaten Congress if they don't make a law that matches her desires immediately. Watch this.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons?
I do believe that we need to do buybacks, and I'll tell you why.
All right, I'm going to turn off the CC because it's delaying. I do believe in mandatory buybacks. That's such like Orwellian nonsense. That's confiscation. Like, if you're being forced to sell something, that is expropriation, compensation, confiscation, and you're getting some compensation for it, so it's better than nothing, but it's still, obviously she's trying to make it illegal and then forcibly take it at a federal government level. Great idea when there's 300 plus million guns in the country, 30 plus million of the rifles that they call assault rifles. Not going to be a good time.
They are weapons of war with no place on the streets of a civil society.
I will give the United States Congress 100 days to get their act together and have the courage to pass reasonable gun safety.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, if you're going to run on like a gun, like if you wanted to run on gun issues against this ticket, it's a good ticket to run on. Because remember, Biden was talking about how he's the only one who beat the NRA. And here you have Kamala Harris talking about how, well, the Congress has 100 days to pass a law that I like, and if they don't, I will break the law through executive fiat and destroy your Constitution. Brilliant strategy, Kamala, for a general election. Also, no autoplay.
Laws, and if they fail to do it, then I will take executive action.
Mandatory buyback. That may be the greatest formulation ever. It's like mandatory donation. It's not a donation, it's theft. A mandatory buyback isn't a buyback, it's seizure.
Yeah. Like, she has so many of these like weird, creepy statements in her background. It's kind of insane that they thought that they were gonna like get her. Like, I mean, look, they're running her. She is the candidate, and we'll see. Somebody's like, at least he'll be cringy. But yeah, if you do a mandatory buyback, you're stealing guns. Like, I don't know why he didn't pick Susan Rice. Like, maybe Kamala Harris has the dirt on him, or maybe, I've heard people, and I don't want to. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to mention it. My audio is too low, or the Fox audio is too low? Oh my god. Alright, so let's turn that up. And let's turn up the desk. There we go. So maybe this will be better. Please mention what you were going to say. I was talking specifically about the mandatory gun buyback thing that she said. About how she's pledging to... it's from the campaign. I'll just play it for you. So... you understand, like, the setup. Once more with feeling, I guess. Oh, wait. Duh. Let me know if you can hear this.
Of a civil society.
I will give the United States Congress 100 days to get their act together and have the courage to pass reasonable gun safety laws. And if they fail to do it, then I will take executive action.
Mandatory buyback. That may be the greatest formulation.
Yeah, that's not how our system works. You don't have 100 days in order to do what the president wants, and then the president can just do it. Like, this is how Obama governed. Obviously, he got away with it in a lot of different parts, but you can't do that from the presidency. That's not how this thing works. Like, and also, the Second Amendment isn't even a random law that you're trying to overturn or anything like that. The Second Amendment is an amendment to the Constitution. So she's like, I will give Congress 100 days to violate the DC versus Heller Supreme Court decision, violate Chicago versus McDonald, violate the Second Amendment of the Constitution. And if they don't do that, if they don't be derelict in their oath to preserve and protect the Constitution in 100 days, then I'm going to do it myself via executive action. Yeah. That's not somebody who respects the distribution of powers. Yeah, somebody's like that executive action will shut down the Supreme Court. See, this is always the funniest thing about watching politics and watching the cover of politics, because they will say that Trump is the fascist. They'll be like, Trump, oh, he's right there on fascist. He has fascist intent. Orange man bad, orange man fascist. What's more fascist than that? If the Congress doesn't get in line, if this separate, independent legislative branch doesn't use their power the way that I want them to, then I, through executive fiat, will usurp their authority, break the law, increase my own power to push my own agenda at all costs, at this, and specifically at the cost of individual liberty. Like, without a law, without appropriating the funds through Congress, she's like, yeah, I'll just go send federal troops to go steal your guns based on nothing. Kamala Harris. Oh, thank you for the bits. That's cool. Or the cheering? I don't know what the difference is. Thank you. Yeah, that's Kamala Harris.
Ever. It's like mandatory donation. It's not a donation, it's theft. A mandatory buyback isn't a buyback, it's seizure, obviously. So why does Kamala Harris want to seize your guns? For the babies, of course.
We have to have smart gun safety laws. And we cannot tolerate a society and live in a country with any level of pride when our babies are being slaughtered.
That's not real, man. Look, I get that she's pro-choice and all that, and I get it's a difference of perspective for her, but that's like the worst example. First of all, the number of babies being shot by guns is close to zero. And most of the time when they're being shot by guns, it's pistols in drive-by shootings that went awry. Right? Like, so, like, if she would have said children, totally fine, and you can't laugh in her face because of her, obvious hypocrisy here. Because, Kamala Harris is on that fringe Democratic left that's like, just before the baby's born, that thing has no rights whatsoever. Just after, all of a sudden it's a different situation. Like, kill it immediately, kill it minutes before it's born, totally fine. That's progressive, that's progress. Use a gun to kill it afterwards? Whoa. We gotta restrict that. That's not a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. But abortion is a constitutional right. Which is hilarious because one is actually in the Constitution. She even looks like doddering as she's saying this. It's actually pretty funny.
Babies are being slaughtered. Okay, so clearly we have mislabeled Kamala Harris. Turns out she's one of the few pro-life Democrats in the Senate. Colin Noir is an attorney. He's a Second Amendment advocate. We're happy to have...
I'm not doing Colin Noir. I don't dislike the guy or anything, but I thought this was one of those segments where Tucker was going to rip apart Kamala. Unfortunate. Like, there was one where they were making fun of him for mispronouncing her name. And, like, Joe Biden pronounced her name the exact same way as Tucker Carlson, if you don't remember. So, like, they were like, oh, Tucker's a racist and, like, sexist attack. Not pronouncing her name correctly. And it's like, he pronounced it the exact same way that Tucker Carlson does. Alright, so let's get right into this news. Alright, so this is Kamala coming up, and Biden just announced her. I skipped Biden announcing her, honestly, because it's ridiculous.
Well, it was through our son, Beau Biden. They were friends. They served as attorneys general at the same time. They took on the same big fights together. Kamala in California, Beau here in Delaware. Get to work, pulling this nation out of these crises we find ourselves in. Getting our economy back on track. Unite.
This looks so sinister. Like, Kamala in the background, like, smiling, leering. She's, like, counting the days until Joe Biden dies. Like, so that she could take power. Just look at her. Like, why would they frame up this shot like this? Also, this podium right here, this last one, is really dirty. And considering we have coronavirus to worry about, I'm pretty upset by the sanitation of that. But look at her. She's just like leering in the background right there. Like, Kamala, what are you doing? Holy crap, man. If that doesn't give you the perspective of somebody that wants to take power from the person that she's currently sitting behind, I don't know what does. Like, she's like, oh, Biden, you should get a pacemaker from my doctor. Meanwhile, she has like her finger on the button. Like, oh, it's just awkward. Like, stop it, Kamala. You're creeping me out. Like, she's probably going to be the first vice president to issue executive orders from the VP seat. That's how authoritarian she is.
In this nation. And yes, winning the battle for the soul.
What was that? Winning the battle for the soul of this country?
Of America. My fellow Americans, now let me introduce to you, for the first time, your next Vice President of the United States.
Look at her. She's like, yes, power. Think of the power. Think of it. Think of it. Also, note that Biden's in front of the American flags and she's in front of these strange non-American flags. I'm sure the state of Delaware flag is in there because they're in Wilmington, Delaware. Plus probably something with the high school. But we're going to just say for now, these non-American flags. It's like the woman behind the curtain right now. Like, you have Joey B over here. Look, he even looks distressed. Like, he knows she's smiling, burning holes in the back of his head. Like, this is why Joe Biden's pretty lucid in this. Like, you know, he stumbles and bumbles, but it's very toned down compared to what it is. You know what I mean? She's like, yes, mine.
Kamala Harris. Kamala, the floor is yours.
Joey B. You know how they have, like, no applause in there? Like, that's not because there's no crowd. This is actually a giant stadium of people. They're just not clapping for Kamala. They couldn't believe this was real. Obviously, a little sarcasm there, guys. Oh, that doesn't look cringy as hell. You're having a guy, he's a stagehand, he's dressed in all black, putting a podium for her. First of all, she's the height of the podium. Like, she's fine to speak here. You didn't have to do that. Is she going to get up on that thing? If she gets up on that thing, she can't be vice president. You're banned. You can't be vice president. Kamala. Done. Biden, go back to the drawing board. Pick another candidate. She's at the correct height of the podium already. She didn't need to do that. Like, we understand that Joey B's is taller than Kamala Harris. We understand that men are typically, not always, taller than women's. Like, she didn't need to do that. Also, it shatters the illusion when you literally see somebody come out from the corner to lay down a box for her to stand on. Like, it kind of breaks the whole mystique of the process. You know what I mean? It's like we're watching the sausage get made. It's not appealing. We're not fooled by that, Kamala. We don't think you're that tall. We don't believe it. All right, so she's gonna thank Joe Biden. Let's see if she can emote in this speech like a humanoid, or if she's gonna go full Hillary Clinton but California.
What do you want? Here you go.
Power.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. As I said, Joe, when you called me, I am incredibly honored by this responsibility, and I'm ready to get to work.
Oh, I'm ready to get to work. Let me look at Joey B's because, you know, I'm ready to get to work. I got to look at him because he really did pick me out of the kindness of his heart. Also, interesting thing. So this is 17:26. She probably came up at 17 minutes. So they're doing half and half. They're split functioning. I'm sure Kamala wanted and there's probably time before Biden comes up. No, it's full Biden. Yeah, so they're doing like a half and half, split function. But she probably wanted, like, if they knew they had 34 minutes, she probably wanted 29 of those minutes. and for Biden to just cut to the point, like, you know, sing her praises and announce her already, but then get out of the way, because that's her plan if they win. But yeah, thank you, Joe. When you called me for the 27th time, I was really angry because I was like, don't we have enough takes of this? Can you stop bumbling your words? But when I realized that I was going to be the VP, that I was going to be put on the back of your ticket after calling you a segregationist, placed by you in the back of the ticket in a separate and not equal role, I was excited. Because you could die, and then I could take over.
I am ready to get to work. After the most competitive primary in history.
What do you mean competitive? That there were a lot of candidates? It wasn't that competitive. Did anybody find this primary competitive? Like, anyone? I'll allow that. Did anyone find this primary competitive? Because it really wasn't. Like, you had a couple people winning the first 3 slots, but after South Carolina, Joe Biden ran roughshod over all the candidates. It was in the beginning, but, like, polls fluctuate. You know what I mean? The Republican primary was more competitive. Like, with Trump in it, because Trump was getting, like, 30% of the vote, and then there was different, like, states that he wasn't winning, etc., etc. Like, it wasn't that competitive. Like, Bernie looked like he had a lead. Kamala, like, dropped out right in the beginning. Like, she definitely wasn't competitive. Like, she didn't do anything. She quit before the first vote was cast. She couldn't even show up to a caucus. She was done early.
The country received a resounding message that Joe was the person to lead us forward.
When I realized that I was polling at like 1% in my home state, I received a resounding message. I have no chance going forward at the presidency. So I dug my claws in to Joey B's, and I decided that I was going to force him to give me the VP ticket.
And Joe, I'm so proud to stand with you. And I do so...
I'm so proud to stand with you, the segregationist. I believe your accusers, Joe, but I'm so proud to be here because I'm an opportunist. And it was politically convenient for me to say that I believed your accusers, just like it's politically convenient for me to say whatever I want and suck up to you to win or to get this VP slot. I was going nowhere. I was a loser presidential candidate. Even if we lose, I will be perceived to be the favorite in the next go-around in the primaries. Thank you, Joe.
Mindful of all the heroic and ambitious women before me whose sacrifice, determination, and resilience makes my presence here today
seem super questionable. Incredibly questionable. How many people, so what are the women that she's going to name? Like, what are the people that you think she's going to name, guys? Somebody said Bernie almost put up a fight. I think she's going to, do we get a Hillary Clinton? That's what I'm thinking. The brave, honorable woman that sacrificed everything to be here. I mean, shit, I just kind of showed up. I didn't get any votes, no popular support. Didn't really do much. I'm a first-term senator. I was appointed to my first political positions by a guy that I was sleeping with while he was married. My first 2 political jobs. That got me jump-started in my political career. But, you know, other than that, like that, I'm so grateful to all the women who came before me, who showed me that I could reach out to an older married man and get political appointments and parlay that into a career so boundless that I now hold the VP slot on a major party ticket. Stunning and brave and stunning and brave, but mostly stunning. Also dislike. Yes, I'm that petty.
even possible. This is a moment of real consequence for America. Everything we care about, our economy, our health, our children, the kind of country we live in,
I give her credit though, like her new so she got the Botox and it obviously froze her face for a while. That's why that cringy interview where she looks dreadful, like that wore off. That was like a temporary thing. Like she does present herself like she's 50 plus years old. Like she looks fine. Like remember, politicians are typically super ugly, right? So like by that standard, like she looks fine. Obviously, again, she has strong debate presence. She has that nervous thing though. Like one of her negative attributes is every time she's asked a question she doesn't like, she does that awkward, creepy laugh. But like, you know, if you were casting a movie vice president like female, and you were going for somebody who's not white, they probably look a lot like Kamala Harris. You know what I mean? So like on appearance alone, she looks all right. Like for the what you call it, like she looks alright for this like role. Like she doesn't not look the part, so that helps. If they would have picked Elizabeth Warren, who was my pick, Warren doesn't look the part. She looks like an old grandma, and she's even shorter than Kamala Harris. So like Warren's like hunched over like this. Like that's also a big problem that Bernard McSanderson has, is that Bernie never looked the part. Like Bernie doesn't look like a president. So, you know, that's oh god, so I'm gonna allow this, but yeah, so that part she actually checks off, and obviously she's a good public speaker. She's not very emotive, but she like can communicate, which is better than Biden. So there are not like it's not all downsides with Kamala Harris, and obviously people bring up the record and all that. None of that matters. Like no, like Trump already is cutting ads with Kamala Harris, calling him a segregationist and all that. But Democratic records never get any scrutiny, and they specifically are already attacking people for covering Kamala Harris negatively as racist and sexist, and that's like the great appeal of picking Kamala Harris as the VP. Is that it gives you a shield against racism and sexism accusations, and then every theory becomes, every attack becomes something that the media can portray as racism and sexism, and you just can't do that with other candidates that were available. Obviously it would have worked with Susan Rice, but nobody knows who Susan Rice is, and we don't know how that person who may be close to Biden and maybe getting like Secretary of State or something, how she would perform under pressure of a political campaign, because she's not really a politician. I don't think Susan Rice has ever held elected office. So it's not all downsides. Like I have to give you the straight up analysis. I think Kamala Harris is cringy as hell, but like, you know, we gotta be the truth. I could see Kamala Harris appealing to moderates. Tim Pool criticizes Tim Pool clickbait says she caused a Trump landslide. Yeah, I mean, look, Tim Pool said that Ocasio-Cortez was going to lose her primary. She was in danger of losing her primary. He said Rashida Tlaib was going to lose her primary, that she was in danger of losing her primary. She said Ilhan Omar was going to lose her primary, that she was in danger of losing her primary. All throughout, he pumped up the idea that people in her own district are not happy with her. People in her own district don't like her. People in her own district are turning on her. I got news for you. When you're the most famous people in Congress, like you're getting national attention, you're likely never losing your primary. That's not how it's happening. That's why I didn't do videos on MCC, Michelle Caruso Cabrera, or anyone or any of the opponents, because I'm like, they have no chance. Ocasio-Cortez was the most famous woman in Congress, and Caruso Cabrera was clearly running against her as a publicity stunt because she's a TV person. So she was chasing that fame as a CNBC host, and it was transparent. So yeah, they're not like they all won. You know what's even crazier though? Apparently like a QAnon Republican won their primary in Georgia. Like somebody who believes in QAnon conspiracies won their primary. And it's like a red district, so she's gonna be in Congress. I cannot wait for her and Ocasio-Cortez to start screaming at each other, because like Ocasio-Cortez is a conspiracy nut. Like you remember when people were talking about her maybe selling out, and she was talking about how all these people who talk about keeping their third eye open and all that, like she's a nutbag lefty conspiracy theorist. So Ocasio, so like that's going to be fantastic. It's also, by the way, when people talk about Ocasio-Cortez's district maybe going away, like if it goes away, she's still going to be in Congress. It's not like she's not going to have a district to run in. It's just her district as presently constituted will change. So she's going to end up running, if they're smart and they don't like her and they don't like the progressives, they'll put her in another district with that other progressive that just won a primary in New York. So that way they have to take each other out. Like, so you only have to deal with one of them. But yeah, Ocasio-Cortez was not losing. That was obvious to anybody. Ilhan Omar came close to losing her primary? I don't think so. I think she won by 17 points. What is it? Ilhan Omar primary results. Let's see. Do we have any polls? Or, I mean, the final results? And, yeah, she didn't come close to losing her primary. What are you talking about? 57% to 39%. Not even close. Are you guys kidding me? This is the district, by the way, that elected Keith Ellison. This is Minneapolis-St. Paul. These are the people that voted in the people who wanted to defund the police. Like, not even close. 0%. And there was a 0% chance that she was losing that primary. And the guy that she was running against, or whatever person she was running against, had way more money. Yeah, a 17% gap is not that close. Like, it's... No way. Like, people are living in a fantasy land. People are, like, here's what you guys have to understand, is that people serve you up a lot of the time the content that they think you want to hear more than they actually tell you how it is. Like, I didn't even bother to make a video about her political opponent because I knew he wasn't losing. Like, look at the biggest county, which is Hennepin. That's where Minneapolis is, right? 100% reporting in. She crushed there. 87,952 to 59,000, right? By the way, it's very interesting how few people actually vote in primaries. But remember, Ocasio-Cortez won her primary by getting like 11,000 votes. But yeah, like in this county, if she lived in this county or this county, it would have been close. She still would have won, but it would have been close. But Hennepin County, which has Minneapolis, that's where she crushed. Like, remember, Ilhan Omar was running in Keith Ellison's seat. Like, she was, like, that seat was always going to the radicals. By the way, Keith Ellison won a statewide office. He's the attorney general right now for Minnesota. I thought it was under 5. No, she blew them out, dude. I just showed you the results. Yeah. Like, it's not that hard to win these primaries in these, like, solid blue districts or solid red districts. But yeah, she blew them out.
It's all on the line. We're reeling from the worst public health crisis in a century. The president's mismanagement of the pandemic has plunged us into the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression.
If you guys were wondering if the Democrats were potentially trying to, short the economy in order to own President Trump, you see the first line of attack that Kamala Harris goes with. Like, if you look at this recession that we're going through in the United States of America, and it is serious, it's disproportionately in places that had significant shutdowns, right? The places that have significant shutdowns are largely Democratic areas. Like, Bill de Blasio said that he wasn't going to open up indoor dining until 2021. Summer of 2021. Like, restaurants are getting crippled right now. And Democrats are pushing for their policy proposals that are separate from the pandemic in all the relief packages. Like, we went over these bills on my channel, like what they proposed and how it had all these different unrelated stuff. Like, the word diversity was mentioned something like 27 times in the pandemic bill. So, yeah, this is what their line of attack is. They're going to use the shutdown that they advocated for, that they say if you don't support the shutdown, you're killing people, against them. And by the way, Trump made a giant mistake because they pay out the benefits from the pandemic through the unemployment office, which incentivizes people to go on unemployment. There are other countries that are paying their people, but they're not paying them through the unemployment office, so it doesn't get counted. You don't have to file for unemployment to do it. Like, they totally set him up for that. So now he's being paid through unemployment. Like, people are incentivized to get laid off to pay them to get paid through unemployment, and people who legitimately got laid off are collecting unemployment, which, guess what, juices the unemployment numbers. Like,
And we're experiencing a moral reckoning with racism and systemic injustice that has brought a new coalition of conscience to the streets of our country, demanding change.
yeah, a coalition of conscience that increases crime across this country, that... I just did that. Oh no, I just minimized it. It's fine. Oh, did I really just do that? Oh, there we go. A coalition of consequences for racism and injustice and all that. You know, they started to do polls about how black people feel about defunding the police, and it turns out that 80% of black people support either increasing funding for the police or keeping the same level of police presence in their area, right? They're concerned about police brutality, reasonable concern, but they don't want to get rid of their police. 80%. 20% of black people want to cut back on the police in their neighborhood because they know that the crime is legit. By the way, the biggest correlation, or the biggest predictor of whether or not you support defunding the police or abolishing the police is whether or not you make over $100,000 a year. Yeah, somebody says 20% increase, 60% stay the same. Yeah, but still, so 20% increase to 20% decrease, that's dead even, right? And then the overwhelming majority are like, no, keep them where they're at. They're doing a good job. That's like one of the most fascinating things about this whole police thing, is that it's becoming like a congressman thing, where they're like, we hate Congress, but we love our congressman. Our congressman's great. That's what's happening with the police, is like they're ginning up hatred overall against the police, but people are like, well, my department is good. And it's like, you don't understand. The changes are happening to all the departments. So if you think your department is good, like, stop supporting it for other departments and maybe think about why you think that the department that you happen to live in, that you happen to live near, is so good. You know what I mean? Like, maybe other people in those areas feel the exact same way.
America is crying out for leadership. Yet we have a president who cares more about himself than the people who elected him.
Thank you for the follow.
A president who is making every challenge we face even more difficult to solve. But here's the good news. We don't have to accept the failed government of Donald Trump and Mike Pence. In just 83 days, we have a chance to choose a better future for our country. So, Joe,
Oh, gotta look at Joe every time I say his name. That's what my PR people told me to do.
Biden, thank you for the trust you've placed in me. Jill, I know you will be an incredible First Lady. And my husband Doug and I are so grateful to become a part of your
I have a family. I'm human, guys.
extended family. And ever since I received Joe's call, I've been thinking yes, about the first Biden that I really came to know, and that, of course, is Joe's beloved son, one of his beloved sons, Beau.
His beloved son, Hunter Biden, is a mess. He's a disaster. Yeah, I don't like this because we're going into like Biden's kid that died, and it's really like it's so politically, it's like such a political convenience. Kamala got close to Beau, and like Kamala got close to Beau Biden because Joe Biden was the vice president. Like, she's an up jumper. That's what she does. Yeah, I'm skipping over her nonsense.
For everyone else. He's someone who never asks, why is this happening to me? And instead asks, what can I do to make life better for you? His empathy, his compassion, his sense of duty to care for others is...
His empathy, his sense of compassion, his feelings, he feels really hard, and he has really strong feelings. Really, he feels everyone. He just goes around feeling people. You've seen videos of that. He just feels so hard. Joey B.
Why I am so proud to be on this ticket. And Joe and I, yes, we are cut from the same cloth. Family is everything to me too.
Oh my God.
And I cannot wait.
We love family. We're pro family. Family means a lot. I love my family. Don't we have so much in common, Joe? We're cut from the same cloth. I called you segregationist and said I believe your accusers, by the way. Joe Biden looks depressed. It looks like somebody, like Kamala Harris, found something on him, and that's why she's the VP. No, just miserable right here.
For America to get to know my husband Doug and our amazing kids Cole and Ella. Because whether I'm cheering in the bleachers at a swim meet or setting...
Swim meet. I'm cheering in the bleachers at a swim meet. These are the things that I do as a mom. I'm a mom, guys. I'm human. Please stop saying I'm a robot. I was programmed to communicate humanity to you guys.
Setting up a college room dorm, or helping my goddaughter prepare for her school debate, or building Legos with my godson.
Look, I even have other people let me near their children. I'm a good person, guys.
Or hugging my 2 baby nieces.
Oh, I hug people. What do people do with babies? Abort? No. The other thing that they do with babies. Hug them. I hug nieces. This is the softer, lighter Kamala Harris. I hug babies. I'll hug your baby. I'll hug your baby so hard that you will vote for me just so I'll let them go. Kamala Harris, 2020.
Or cooking dinner. Sunday
I cook dinner. Oh, she's gonna say Sunday dinner. Oh my God.
dinner.
Sunday dinner. That's her trying to appeal to black people. She's like, don't black people do Sunday dinner? I'm Kamala Harris. I'm a black person. Don't forget that. I know a lot of people are like, oh well, isn't she like a quarter black and Indian? Like her mom's like fully Indian. Isn't that a thing? No. I cook Sunday dinner. Like on Sundays, I cook it. I'm Kamala. I don't make Doug do it. I didn't marry a guy named Doug because a guy named Doug is probably the guy that I could bully into cooking dinner. I'm Kamala. I just do Sunday dinner for my nieces that I'm hugging. When I'm cooking dinner while hugging my baby nieces, I think sometimes about throwing my baby nieces in the pot, and then I have to take my pills to get rid of those thoughts. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm not a psychopath.
My family means everything to me.
I love my family.
And I've had a lot of titles over my career.
I've had a lot of
certainly,
achievements.
Vice President will be great. But Mamala will always be the one. Sunday dinner. My family means everything to me. And I've had a lot of titles over my career, and certainly vice president will be great. But Mamala will always be the one that means the most.
Did she just say Mamala? Somebody said dislike the video again? I can't switch accounts. I would have switched accounts. You know what? I'll do that later, I promise. Thank you for the bits. See you, Susan. See you, Susan. She just said Mamala, right? Yeah.
Storm, or helping my goddaughter prepare for her school. Vice president will be great. But Mamala will always be
Mamala. Kamala Harris. I'm totally a person. People actually call me Mamala. Let's do it once more with feeling so you guys could see it and not hear it.
My family means everything to me.
I love family.
And I've had a lot of titles over my career. And certainly, vice president will be great.
She looks at Joe Biden. She's like, I can't wait to swap out your medication and be president.
But Mamala will always be the one that means the most.
Mamala? Nobody's called me that ever? Ever, ever, ever? Ever, ever, ever. One time, an intern saw me with my kid or holding a kid, and they called me Mamala, and I fired them. I not only fired them, but I called every single person for 5 to 10 years after that she applied to get a job with after that, and told them that if they hired her, I would use my prosecutorial power to crush them. By the way, intern, if you're still out there, that's my warning to you. If I assume the throne, I become president, I'm coming for you first. Never call me Mamala. That's the origin of that nickname, guys. It's in the blurb about Kamala Harris. Don't bring Seinfeld into this. Oh my god, Mamala. That little Mamala was me, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, Mamala Harris. God. It would be... imagine if Joe Biden went up there. Imagine if Joe Biden was a Republican and he went up there and he said, my name is Joe, but people call me Joker because I'm hilarious. Like, that's the equivalent of what she did right there. God. Again, this is like a full house. Like, there are people in there. They broke quarantine to come out to see this, and they thought they would be excited, but they're actually dying in the audience right now. Not from COVID, from Kamala Harris talking to them.
And you know, my mother and father, they came from...
My father talks a lot of crap about me because I said that I was smoking weed all the time because I'm from Jamaican descent. But we're going to ignore that because look where I am now, Daddy. In your face, professor who earned his achievements and married also another well-established woman. I come from a really good family that actually probably had to overcome stuff. Look at me now. You thought me dating that married man wouldn't get me anywhere? Look at me now. Kamala Harris 2020.
Opposite sides of the world to arrive in America. One from India and the other from Jamaica.
I mean, he's from Jamaica, but like his roots are from Africa. They're not that far from each other. Do you want me to get you a map, Kamala? Miss Harris, do you want me to get you a map?
In search of a world-class education. But what brought them together was the civil rights movement of the 1960s.
I doubt this is true. I'm just going to say I doubt this is true. Kamala Harris is unbelievably opportunistic. I'm not saying that her father or her mother weren't supportive or interested in the civil rights movement, but I doubt if she's saying that they met while being activists for the civil rights movement. I doubt that that is true. Like, I would bet the house on this being nonsense. Like, let's just say that. Because remember, Kamala Harris, right now she's like, I'm the first black woman to run for Congress. When Kamala Harris was elected to the Senate, she was like, I'm the first Indian woman to be sworn in to the Senate. So, like, she changes up her backstory and all that when it's convenient. So whatever she's about to say, like, whatever the story is, I think it's false. Like, 100% false. We good, guys? We're good on the false? Yes, this is Kamala Harris's corn pop about to come up.
And that's how they met, as students in the streets of Oakland, marching and shouting for this thing called justice.
But did they go to the same school? They probably met in class.
In a struggle that continues today.
Today.
And I was part of it. My parents would bring me to protests.
This is why you should never bring your kids to protests. Don't let your kids become Kamala Harris. Bad, bad, bad. Wrong, incorrect. So my parents used me as a human shield. Gosh.
Strapped tightly in my stroller. And my mother, Mamala, raised...
Her mother's name is Mamala? I have no comment on her mother's name. That is neither here nor there. People do not get to choose their names. I just didn't expect her to have a rhyming scheme. That's why I'm surprised. Sure, it's a lovely name.
My sister Maya and me to believe that it was...
Does she have two sisters, Maya and me? Or does she have one sister and she's saying Maya and myself? Very confusing, Kamala. Excuse me.
Up to us and every generation of Americans to keep on marching.
Also, Kamala Harris's sister's name is Maya Harris. No, not Maya Harris. Hold on, because she doesn't use her maiden name, right? Hold on. No, she does use her maiden name. Her name is Maya Harris. Not Maya Harris, you're a Harris. Thank you. I couldn't have done worse than Mamala. Maya-mala. Shamala, Mamala, Kamala, Namala, Pamala. Maya-mala. Her name's not Maya-mala. No, it's not. Chamala. Oh, so she does use her maiden name, because her sister, unless her sister's also married to her husband's brother. Yeah, no, Harris is her maiden name. What's her, oh wow, her husband. Weak sauce right there.
She'd tell us, don't sit around and complain about things. Do something. So I did something.
I complain for a living.
I devoted my life to making real the words carved in the United States Supreme Court, equal justice under law.
Equal justice under law. Remember when I was the Attorney General of California and I wanted prisoners to work for me, but there was this one problem. They actually had finished their sentences and were due to be released. So Kamala, advocate for equal justice under the law Harris, decided to keep them beyond their sentence so that they could work for her for free or for crap wages. Kamala Harris, equal justice. From what I've read from Kamala Harris's dad, I'm sure, 60s, if you're in Oakland, civil rights, he's probably on the side of civil rights, like black guy in the 60s in Oakland. We get that. I'm not denying that, not refuting that, not disputing that. But the man is like a hard ass. When Kamala said that she smoked weed and she linked that back to her Jamaican heritage, her dad came out and he bitch slapped her publicly. He was like, I did not raise her to play into negative Jamaican stereotypes. So, like, the dude's a hard ass. And Kamala inherited part of that hard ass thing. That's why when she was Attorney General, she did ridiculously overzealous things as a prosecutor that were not cool. Like that's why she did the truancy thing when she was in San Francisco. Like, that's who she really is. Like, she's trying to pretend to be this softer, lighter, I love my family Kamala Harris, but like, she's hella driven.
And 30 years ago, I stood before a judge for the first time, breathed deep, and uttered the phrase that would truly guide my career and the rest.
Oh my God. She's like nodding herself into... She's nodding herself into this right here. People are saying her father hates her. Did you see that? I would utter the phrase... Oh wait, it says cry there. Initiate crying program.
Of my career. Kamala Harris for the people.
Kamala Harris for the people. That defines my career. Kamala Harris is for Kamala Harris. Right? As Attorney General, part of the reason she was a hard ass on a lot of stuff is because back then you would win elections based on your conviction rate and reducing crime numbers, right? Kamala Harris has done everything in her career for political expedience. Every single action. Like, she's like, oh, I did some criminal justice reform in California. I don't see it. Like, she probably did some easy stuff after it was overwhelmingly popular because that was the trend. That's where she chases the trend. There's a reason that during the primaries, a lot of people who don't like cops, prosecutors, etc., didn't like Kamala Harris because of her record. And now they're all bending the knee because first woman of color on the VP seat. Like, Sean King is one of those people. He was like, I would never accept in 2018 a Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, or a combination of the two. That's the ticket. They announced Kamala Harris. Sean King puts out a tweet, bending the knee, like all Bernie Sanders supporters are used to doing. No principles, just weakness.
The people. That's who I represented as district attorney, fighting on behalf of victims who needed help. The people. That's who I fought for as California's attorney general, when I took on transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns and drugs and human beings.
I'm against human trafficking, gun trafficking, and drug trafficking.
And it's the people who I have fought for as a United States Senator, where I've worked every day to hold Trump officials accountable to the American people.
Grandstanding for this
And the
chance.
people are who Joe and I will fight for every day.
Yeah, you're for the people. Everybody's for the people. We get it. You have to say you're for the people. That's what... Like, Kamala, you're for Kamala. Alright? Like, what about the people who took you seriously when you said Joe Biden was a segregationist? That 1% of people who would have voted for you. What about them? You for those people? No? All of a sudden those people don't matter? Right? You're for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is for Kamala Harris. Everybody gets that, right? By the way, that's not unique. A lot of politicians are for themselves. Yeah. Yeah, this bites, honestly. I don't want to see her morally grandstand about, oh, I'm for the people, blah, blah. What do you got?
This election isn't just about defeating Donald Trump or Mike Pence. It's about building this country back better.
Oh, she's saying make America great again. Did anybody hear that? Building this country back better?
And that's exactly what Joe and I will do. We'll create millions of jobs and fight climate change through a clean energy revolution.
Ooh, didn't say Green New Deal. She co-sponsored it, but now all of a sudden she won't say it. Bernie is not the path to power anymore, so I'm not going to bow to Bernie. I'm going to bow to Joe.
Bring back critical supply chains so the future...
Oh, we're going to bring back our jobs. Bring back our manufacturing. Sounds very Trumpian.
is made in America.
Made in America. Big American manufacturing. Hello? Does anybody not notice how she's campaigning? She's just stealing the Orange Man things. Everybody got that?
Build on the Affordable Care Act so everyone has the peace of mind that comes with health insurance.
Again, Bernie's not the path to power anymore, so I'm not for Medicare for all anymore. I'm for Joe Biden's plan.
And finally, offer caregivers the dignity, the respect, and the pay they deserve. We'll protect a woman's right to make her...
See, she touched her face right there? That's how you know she's lying. Offer caregivers the dignity and, like, they're employed in private hospitals. How are you going to increase their pay? What are you even talking about? Kamala, hello? What are you talking about?
own decisions about her own body.
Abortion.
Root out systemic racism in our
medical system or criminal justice system? She's on the medical thing. Let's see.
justice system.
Yep.
And pass a new Voting Rights Act, a John Lewis Voting Rights Act.
A John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Johnny Lewis. Look. Johnny Lewis. This is what I'm doing. Who is John Lewis from South Carolina? Is he the South Carolina guy? Because I know the Baltimore guy died. Oh, he's from Atlanta. Okay. The John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Oh, Kamala, using dead people who probably didn't like you and endorsed Joe Biden over you. Hold on, let me pull up this, Johnny?
That will ensure...
Oh, look, Biden smiled right there. He approved of that line. He was like, mention dead people.
every voice is heard and every voice is counted. The civil rights struggle is nothing new to Joe.
No. You went from calling him a segregationist to calling him a civil rights hero?
It's why he got into public service.
No! Kamala! You have no principles. You are spineless and weak. You were saying that he was too close to that wasn't like a year ago. That was months ago. Maybe it was a little over a year ago. Kamala! For shame. For shame. You can't call him a segregationist in the 70s and say he got into politics for civil rights in the 60s. Kamala, stop. Dad.
It's why he helped reauthorize the Voting Rights Act and restore unemployment discrimination and employment discrimination laws. And today, he takes his place in the ongoing story of America's march toward equality and justice as the only who has served alongside the first black president and has chosen the first black woman as his running mate.
Look, he's near black people. He chose the first black... See, she's black again, by the way. The first black woman as his co-president. And Biden's like, eh? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Joe. We have to talk about that later.
But as Joe always points out, this election is about more than politics.
Every election is just about politics. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Bigger.
Are the heroes of our time.
No, who did she call heroes?
I was raised. Some strapped into strollers of their own. And trust me, it's a song you'll never forget. So to everyone keeping up the fight, you are doomed of every age and color and creed who are finally declaring in one voice that yes, Black Lives Matter.
Oh my God.
All across this country.
I knew she was calling Black Lives Matter the heroes of her time, but like, I just had to be sure that's what she was saying. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus, man.
A whole new generation of children is growing up hearing the cries for justice and the chants of hope, on which
and change.
I was raised, some strapped into strollers of their own. And trust me,
Don't bring babies to your protest because Kamala Harris says it's okay. If Kamala Harris was, if this was, what, 7 years ago, whenever she was Attorney General, Kamala Harris would crush you and shoot tear gas canisters directly into the face of your babies. And then hug them. Not like hug them until you vote for her today.
it's a song you'll never forget. So to everyone keeping up the fight, you are doing something. You are doing something great.
You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing great. Your effect will be overwhelmingly negative. Let me turn off autoplay.
You are the heroes of our time. And you are the reason I know we are going to bring our country closer to realizing its great promise. But to do it, we'll need to work, organize, and vote like never before.
Work, organize, and vote like never before. Make sure you vote for Democrats. That's your path to salvation. You could save all these black people in Democrat-run cities by voting Democrat. That will solve basically everything. Yeah. The Democrats are your only answer.
Because we need more than a victory on November 3rd. We need a mandate that proves that the past few years do not represent who we are or who we aspire to be.
Yeah, you got to work on that that enunciation. She's trying to do the Obama. This isn't who we are. This isn't who we aspire to be. We're Americans. Every man, woman, and child in this country is an American. And that's not just a nationality. It's an idea. It's a creed. Like, she's trying to do that, where she changes the pitch of each individual word. She's not selling it. Not doing it. Not pulling it off. I'm not impressed by it. So, yeah. Pretty cringe, Kamala. That's what the kids say, right?
Joe likes to say that character is on the ballot, and it's true. When he saw...
Shut your nose when you talk about character, Kamala. You know you're selling out all your supposed principles. That's what we call a tell, guys. Character is on the ballot. It's Kamala Harris right here. Character's on the ballot. Let's see that once more.
Proves that the past few years do not represent who we are or who we aspire to be. Joe likes to say that character is on the ballot, and it's true. When he saw what happened in Charlottesville 3 years ago today, he knew we were in a battle for the soul of our nation. And together with your help, that's a battle we will win. Earlier this year, I said I'd do whatever Joe asked me to do.
Whoa, Kamala, you're a married woman. Jesus. Joe said, let me smell ya.
And so now I'm asking you to do the same. So
wait. That's creepy, Kamala. She's so creepy. I don't like
help,
that.
That's a battle we will win. Earlier this year, I said I'd do whatever Joe asked me to do. And so now I'm asking you to do the same.
Whatever Joe asked us to do. Yeah, this is somebody who has government all wrong. Y'all work for us? That's like the theory? We don't work for you? Just do whatever Joe asks you to do. He's running for president. Obey him. Bend the knee.
So visit JoeBiden.com to get involved in this campaign and vote. Because electing Joe Biden is just the start of the work ahead of us.
I have to work in hand gestures. Does this look awkward,
And
guys?
I couldn't be prouder to be by his side, running to represent you, the people. Thank you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Oh
Thank you.
my god. Ooh, music. I hope that's not copyrighted. I'm trying to upload this up on YouTube. Let me mute that and watch them. Look, Kamala Harris is short again. The illusion of the box is ruined. Oh, look, see, there is a crowd of people there. But
for the trip via the suburban vehicle to get to Wilmington.
Yeah. Kamala Harris, everyone. Round of applause for Kamala. Kamala Harris. Yeah, that was pretty uneventful, pretty uninspiring. You know, I can't give her too much crap. I mean, I am. Like, this whole time has been me giving Kamala Harris a ton of crap. But I can't give her too much crap because it's hard to give a good, like, speech in front of a non-crowd. Like, there's certain things that you do to work the crowd to get more energy and more enthusiasm into it. But obviously I am going to take away credit because somebody's like, damn, dude, it's like a rock concert in that gymnasium. I mean, they are press people, and so of all the people who are happy with the Kamala Harris pick, the press people are definitely one of them. They're like, the reckoning and all that. But she didn't write it's not even about her writing the speech. I'm talking about working the room. Like, Obama didn't write his speeches, but Obama worked the room. Right? That's part of the deal. Like, you have to be able to deliver a speech. Like, you have to be able to enunciate and all that. So, yeah, pretty bad. You know, somebody said her Botox still looks a little weird, to be honest. Yeah, but it's not as bad as when it first was done. Like, she should have taken a few more days off to let that, like, unsettle. You know, I don't know how Botox works, but I assume they inject you. Your face freezes, and then you have to let it settle so that you become relatively normal. Or maybe she had it drained. But, yeah. I'm pretty unimpressed by that. Honestly, that woman could very easily be the vice president of the United States of America. I just want you guys to all know that. That is a legit person that could have power in this country. So, you know, take Kamala Harris's advice. If you don't want that to happen and you're in a key swing state, then consider voting. Do you think, on Buy America platform? No, that's just something they threw out there. They might be saying some stuff needs to come back, but, like, the Trump administration is saying that for, like, national security purposes and all that. But, no, they're not doing that. Somebody says, now show Spike Cohen's speech? I don't know who that is. I'm in New York, so my vote doesn't really change anything. That's true. I'm in New York, too. Also, I live in a district that's uncompetitive, top to bottom of the ticket. So, I don't care. I don't go out and vote. But if you guys are interested, you know, then I'm not going to say make your voice heard because that's cheesy as hell. But if you guys are interested, then, you know, participate, especially if you're in a swing state. Well, that's really it. But yeah, it's pretty bad. I kind of don't like that very much, guys. That's my opinion. I'm in Suffolk. Lots of red here. I mean, it doesn't matter in terms of presidential elections, but if you know, like your local representatives, if they're on the ballot, you should know who they are because they have a lot of impact on your stuff. Somebody says, "Bro, I'm Canadian." That's cringe. Yeah, no, it's pretty not good, I would say. Kamala Harris, this is my analysis, my expert political analysis, top to bottom. 4 years on YouTube breaking down politics. Kamala Harris is pretty not good. Although, Mamala is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Mamala is a thing that she said to humanize herself. Like, you know how people ship two character names? She shipped mom and her name in order to make Mamala. She said, I like when people vice president would be nice. But Mamala is my best title. Did I mention I cook Sunday dinners? I'm Kamala Harris. I cook Sunday dinners. That's popular, right? That's popular? Somebody get those black prisoners that I held in jail way past their sentence. Somebody get a couple of them on the phone. I'm sure they're, totally fine to talk to me, and ask them if Sunday dinner is popular amongst them. Because I want to know. I'm Mamala Harris.